Hey y'all, it's Dr. Shamanda. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things mental health, personal finance, and overall strategies to live your best life. All right, guys, it is February 1st, 2026, and I promised you guys that I was going to do a 28-day series all about money. That's right, money. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a job transition, you just got laid off. Maybe you're just stressed about money. Maybe you have a mindset challenge around money and you just realizing it. Whatever. Like, we're going to hit every angle. And I am specifically going to be sharing this information from the perspective of a licensed therapist. Now, let me just let you know, I'm not your therapist. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. None of that good stuff, baby. I am a licensed therapist, and I've been working with clients for almost 2 decades in the behavioral addiction space, right? And one of the number one topics is around money. And I think that a lot of people, we focus so much on just like so many other circumstances and we're afraid to talk about money and just address it head on. But money impacts so many areas of our lives, right? And so I really want to use these next 28 days to really hone in on these conversations, these topics, and help you get to the root cause of what's triggering you, or even identify what your triggers are. And if you're interested, we can move forward in a very much more deep way through one-on-one counseling or coaching. So I'll let you guys know when those opportunities are available. All right, let's get right into it. Today we are going to talk about why money anxiety feels so overwhelming, okay? The first thing I want you to know is that money isn't just about numbers, right? It's about safety. And once you understand that, everything makes more sense, okay? Now, I have my notes here, so just know that I might be looking over here just a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to keep this moving because I promise you guys 8 to 10 minute videos. All right, so number one, seriously, is that money equals safety is not just about math, okay? So money is tied to our basic needs, right? Our ability to survive, to live. And our brains don't recognize anything other than that. Like, our brains are so intricate the way it's set up, right? It's hardwired for safety and survival. Everything about our lives is about trying to keep us alive, just literally, right? And so when you think about money, it's the way that we are able to get our basic needs met, right? So food, water, shelter, things that just literally keep us alive. And so naturally, if our brains recognize that there's something going on that would, create a barrier to us having access to money, which is what's going to get us food, water, shelter, then of course the anxiety could come up. You could be triggered. So that's the first thing to know, is that money basically is synonymous with safety as far as our brain is concerned. Okay. Number two is that I want you to recognize is that anxiety is going to naturally increase when we're going through some type of life transition. Really, what I really love working with in terms of therapy and clients is those who are dealing with life transitions, because I already know you're about to be dealing with a whole lot of anxiety, sometimes depression, but definitely anxiety, because you're dealing with the unknown. There's a lot of questions, a lot of what ifs, right? And so it's important to recognize that, and that there's nothing wrong with you, but your brain is telling you that, like, this is unknown. I don't know what we doing here, And so that could be starting a new job. That could be deciding to, start your own business and leave your job after 20 years. It could be maybe you're becoming a first-time parent. Maybe now you're a caregiver. Maybe you're married and you're the provider or responsible for more people. It could be a number of things, but just know that naturally your anxiety is going to increase, specifically around money, when you are dealing with some type of life transition. And that's one area or one reason to definitely work with a therapist or a coach around that time, so that you can manage that and find some ways to cope, okay? Now, number three is I want to talk about how money anxiety might show up for you. So one way is that is avoidance. Now, I talk to my clients about this all the time when we're dealing with anxiety. The more you avoid something, the more the anxiety increases. Let me tell y'all, I'm just going to be for real. And anybody know me, they know. If they know me, they know this. I'm scared of dogs. I know. I feel bad. I feel crazy because it's like, Girl, you a whole therapist. How you scared of dogs? I already know. And I know this about me. It's just a thing, right? People know this about me. No judgment, okay? But I know that whenever I see a dog come in the building or in the office, because, you know, I'm a therapist, though, so we have these dogs that come in sometime. My anxiety is up. Like, I'm talking all the way up. It could be the smallest little puppy. I don't care. Hold that thing, because I don't want no offense. I know y'all dogs are just like family members. I get it, and I appreciate that for you. I love that for you. But for me, So I know that the more I avoid that dog or avoid looking at it, avoid kind of just focusing on the fact that the dog is in my close proximity, the more my anxiety goes up. Like, I need to know where this dog is. I need to know it has a leash on it. I need to know, does it have a history of biting? Like, I need to know all those things. But the more I avoid it, or like it doesn't exist, or like close my office door or something like that, the more my anxiety goes up. So when you avoid anything about money, the anxiety is just going to keep increasing. So what does that look like then? Maybe having a budget, knowing what your income and your expenses are every month. So don't avoid the money anxiety. Work through that. Impulsive decisions is another way that your money anxiety could increase. So if you just was like having a good day at work, or you something happened great right in your life, and you just went out and started shopping, and you're like, you get home and you start thinking about how much money you spent, and now you like, oh dang, I ain't gonna be able to pay my mortgage this month. I done bought this bag and this does not fit in my budget, you know, because you're all excited, you made an impulsive buy or purchase. That, you know, is another area, a way that, you know, money anxiety could definitely impact you. It can also lead to paralysis, right? Which is like the opposite in some way. It's like you're so anxious about money that you don't buy or spend anything. Now, that was me. I'm more on that side. I mean, I'm working through that now, right? But I'm like, I'm not spending nothing. I'm keeping everything in my bank account because something could happen. This could happen. So you don't spend anything. Or you just, sometimes paralysis could look like just, again, somewhat like avoidance, but just not taking an action, right? Let's say you do want to change jobs and you do know that you could be making more money or whatever, but instead of taking that next step, you decide to just stay where you are because you're scared, right? The anxiety is there. So just know that money anxiety can show up in those type of ways, okay? Now, the fourth thing I want to say is that, like, money advice and all that kind of stuff doesn't work. Like, that alone doesn't work. So that's one reason why, like, I would never just be a coach, a financial coach. I would also still be a therapist who focuses on money and money stress and anxiety and depression, because I think more like the coaching piece can help you with debt management, creating spreadsheets, budgets, all that stuff. And we hear so many people talk about that, especially on YouTube. And shout out to y'all, because y'all helped me a lot, you know, over the years. But that's not the only thing you need. You do need help with your mindset. You do need help understanding what your triggers are. You do need help working through some of the childhood trauma that may have led to you feeling and operating the way you do when it comes to money. So having the money advice by itself is not enough. Like, let's say, for example, you know you need to lose 10 pounds. Okay, your doctor might tell you need to lose 10 pounds because X, Y, and Z, but that don't mean you're going to take his advice. You know what I'm saying? So you got to work through why you're not working out, why you're, you know, choosing to eat unhealthy, whatever. Sometimes, and most of the time, it's a deeper rooted issue. Okay. Now, what does actually help? So I'll end it here. What does help? Getting clarity, understanding your mindset, working with someone who can be an accountability partner to you, right? Understanding coping strategies to help regulate your nervous system. That is so important when it comes to anxiety, because you're going to be triggered. That's just life. We're all going to be triggered by something. But what do you do in those moments when you're triggered? How do you get through those moments? Is it deep breathing? Is it thought stopping? Those things are so important so that you can actually manage your money anxiety and you don't stay stuck forever. All right, guys, I promised y'all 10 minutes or less, and we're at 9.31. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We got 27 more days of content. Lock in with me. I'm here to educate y'all, share all the tips and strategies with you. Okay, so I love y'all so much. I hope that we are in this together, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.